To get faster around the Hungarian Grand Prix circuit, you must watch this top 1% hot lap. Let's go on board with Zingy to see how it's done. Heading into turn 1, you want to brake at around 80 meters and use all the track to open up the corner. Lightly tap the inside curb in 3rd gear and power out towards the red and white curb when you have the traction down. Keep it tight to the right through the bend to minimize track distance, braking between 70 and 60 meters, and now get a tire on top of the curb to get the best possible entry, but don't go too far over it. Take a slightly early apex, but don't touch the grey curb, and when you spot the red and white exit curb, point towards it as you open up the steering to get on the throttle. We're going to stay to the right through turn 3 with 100% throttle, and you can fully cut the corner. However, we choose to simply brush the apex for stability purposes. Get as close as you can to the exit curb, and then we're going uphill just like LSI after you've subscribed and liked the video, braking just when the orange barrier is at the edge of the screen. And similar to turn 2, we want to get right on the top of the entry curb but not over it, as we try to make the racing line as straight as possible. Down to 6th gear using engine braking to help us with a dab on the brakes. Fully cut the red and white curb and let the car swing wide on exit as long as it's within the track limits. Quickly get the car to the left of the circuit and brake as soon as the barrier drops away or just before the marshal post, and then down to 4th gear, up the hill on the throttle as you gain grip and lightly tap the inside curb for rotation, but take great caution whilst doing this. We will brake as soon as the curb begins, touching it on entry before going down to 3rd and fully riding the lower section of the inside curb, but don't mount the sausage curb, otherwise you will unsettle the car. Do exactly the same for turn 7 and go as wide as possible on the exit, riding the grey strip for the most grip. Let's feather the brakes down to 4th gear and at the same time gradually feed the car into the corner, hitting the red and white curb and bringing the car immediately to the left to open up the next corner. Holding 4th gear as you lightly tap the brakes again and flow through, kissing the inside curb using all the track on the exit. Now we hold the car left as we prepare for turn 11, get to the entry curb and then staying in 6th gear, lift off the throttle for a brief moment and let the car carry the speed as you stay as close as you can to the inside curb without using it to maintain speed. Run wide on exit to use all the track and gain as much time as you can as you head down the straight. Full send into turn 12, braking just before the curb and riding on top of it again, down to 3rd gear using the inside curb to get the tightest racing line possible, running as wide as you can on the exit. 2 more to go now, down the hill as the track drops away, risking everything on the curb, into 3rd gear taking a long apex but not touching the grey curb, foot to the floor and let the car wash wide. Go as far left as possible before slowly feeding in the steering lock, braking just after the white line or just before the pit lane entry curb appears, into 4th gear and carrying a slightly wide but long apex, straighten up the wheel, get the pedal down over the entire curb, open up DRS, across the line to set a 1 minute 14.840, and that's how you get in the top 1% of drivers. The setup used for this video is on screen now, and if you want to tailor this to the race situation, all you need to do is decrease the downforce just a little bit to try and make overtaking easier, increase the differential by a click or 2 to make things more stable, leave the suspension geometry as it is to maximize lap time, soften the suspension just a little bit for consistency, and increase the ride height marginally so you have confidence over the curbs. Leave the brake pressure as it is, but increase the brake bias to make sure you are able to cope a lot better in the race. And with the tyre pressures, start from minimum and increase a couple clicks with practice to make sure that you find that perfect window for the tyre temperatures. Make sure you subscribe for our next hot lap, like the video if you've improved, comment below how much you've improved by, send this video to your teammate to help them get better. Thank you very much to Zingy for completing this hot lap for us. Good luck and let's race.